Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Draft Day Sports College Basketball, and this is episode number 20. We are ready to tip off the new season in a matchup that should be a really tough one for us, but we might actually match up relatively well on this game, potentially. So here's the thing. We are on the road at TCU, Texas Christian University, who are many divisions above us. And we're on the road. They should be the favorites. But here's the thing. We actually have a decent team that we have built up for this season. And for the first time, we have a decent defensive team. I think scoring-wise, we are about the same as what we've been over the last 2 to 3 seasons. But defensively, we are far better than what we've been in years past. And it's showing here in the early minutes as we have gotten off to an incredible start. It's 12-2 here in the season opener. This is the first time seeing our huge recruit, Darius Q, biggest recruit we've had, probably the biggest recruit we will have had over the next few seasons anyway. And he's already off to a quick start, 3 for 3 shooting, 6 points for him. And then we've done well in the transfer portal as well. Robinson was already off to a quick start. He had 5 points. He had an assist. He had a rebound before heading to the bench for the first time. McIntyre is back for his senior year. He's already had a steal and a block in this one. And that's already coming off the bench for him. Q, meanwhile, 9 points already for the young freshman. The biggest recruit out of the state of Oregon. And it's 24-4 right now as TCU finally gets just their third score. The defense has been fantastic. The offense has been good. TCU finally getting the ball rolling, though, and have some momentum, and they continue that momentum. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout before it's too late. I didn't get my timeout in, did I? Where's my total? Where's my total? We did not get our timeout in, but we have not slowed their momentum. We did finally take that timeout. It did limit TCU's momentum slightly, but that timeout came a lot later than I wanted it to. But we finally get a 3-pointer there to stop the bleeding as TCU had finally got themselves rolling. But yeah, 15-point lead here with 6 minutes to play in the first half. Something that could change very quick against a team so much better on paper in TCU. Now, our scouting suggested we were going to crush TCU, but as time went on, as we got through practice, we started to realize that, okay, we're good. We're not that good. But our scouting still had us favored to win this game. Their scouting had this at about a 50-50 chance. In fact, I think they had a 51% chance. And as the road team, we really shouldn't be favored. So, and especially as a team so many divisions below them, does this mean we are going to fly through Conference V and actually begin climbing the ladder? Here's the thing. Here's what to remember. We started Conference V, and in that first season on tiebreaker, ended up eliminated from Conference V and found that there is something below, right? Conference V might be the bottom rung of the ladder, but below that is ground level. We hit the floor, we hit the basement, we went to independent, and we were there for a couple of years before we climbed out. We came so close in that first year of immediately rebounding and getting out of it. And holy crap, TCU, as I'm talking to you here, have battled back here in the first half. We've got a 5-point game. We went from a massive lead to a 5-point game. They really kept that momentum going all the way through to halftime after that fantastic start. Remember, it was 24-6. We ended up at 37-32. So completely flipped its lid in the last 10-15 minutes of the half there. Points in the paint, not much. That's surprising. It's really surprising. Our shots are coming from mid-range, apparently. Second chance points, all us, or at least stopping them on that one. But they're killing us on fast break. Ouch on that part. But here is how we look so far. Darius Q, after that very hot start, cooled off massively. He was 4 for 4, ended up 4 for 7, but 9 points, still great start. Transfer, Damian Robinson, 3 for 6, 10 points, fantastic start for him. Samuels, the senior, the transfer from a year ago, 5 boards for him already. Not a shot for us, that's a good thing. He is a plus 11 when he's been on the court. Dyer, he's got 3 assists, but no points right now. And Ben Gross has just 2 points, and he has struggled a little bit. Kalakatronis doing well, plus 9 in his little stretch, and 7 points for him. Apparently he has developed entering this year. Our view of him had gone up significantly from what he had been as a player a year ago, and he really hadn't done much when he had played. So I was nervous about getting him more minutes, but he's actually doing quite well. McIntyre is going to get lots of minutes off the bench, as he is essentially rotating with Q and Samuels, the 3 of them sharing 2 positions, and all of the minutes that go with that. Archie, the other transfer, he started off fairly well, just 1 of 3 shooting, but otherwise he's doing okay, at least when we're on the court. And Kenyon Geyer, the other guy that I brought in, that I was high hopes for, strong defender, he's done well. Malone is the one who has not done well. We did really poor. 2 minutes, and we were minus 9 in those 2 minutes. As a team, both teams with 28 attempts. They've made 1 more. We've done better from 3. We've done better from free throws, and here's a huge difference, okay? Huge difference from a year ago. With better defenders, we have only committed 3 fouls in the first half. We have an aggressive defense. Yes, they battled back, but we only committed 3 fouls in the first half, and that is a massive difference. Turnovers, though, not looking good for either. 13 for us, 14 for them. Dyer with 5 turnovers. So they are... That's still kind of a weak position for us, point guard. And playing at this higher level, it looks like Dyer is a little overmatched. He hasn't scored. He's had 5 turnovers. He's had 3 assists, but that's not a good ratio. So we are struggling a little bit at point guard. Second half underway. Whatever I was talking about as we approached halftime, I've completely forgotten about it, but there's a quick foul to start the second half. Not what we want to see. By the way, we are in the dark purple, if I didn't mention that before the game. Weird, considering they are a purple-colored school, but that is the uniform that I picked for us. Settling for a long-range, well-defended 3 did not work out so well, and all of a sudden we're back down to a 2-point game. 1 for 2 at the stripe there. And this thing is getting to be a tight contest. Good job making that shot, that we had a better option. On the opposite low block, man was wide open. That would have been an easy 2. And we've got a tie game. Hayes has 15 points, 5 of 6. That's the one we got to watch out for here. Geyer defending Hayes at the moment. That's what we want. And we trail by 2. So after a very good start to this game, TCU's higher ability level is starting to shine through. And you know what? Even if we lose this game to open the season after that good start that we had, even if we lose this game, I'm not too worried. We are on the road at a team many conferences above us. It's a great sign that not only can we hang with, but we can at times dominate a team this high compared to us. And that is a great sign for our Conference V competition that comes later. Because in reality, as we're in a low division like this, we're not making the NCAA tournament. We're not making the March Madness tournament unless we win Conference V. No matter how well we do non-conference, because we're a Conference V team. We have no prestige. So our one and only ticket to the tournament is winning Conference V. And the only way you win Conference V is in your conference games. So right now, these non-conference games are not important. They don't matter. It really does not matter what we do in the non-conference games until we start climbing the ladder a bit. So in these bottom 5 divisions or so, we just missed the wide open layup. 59-54. Let's check back in with how the team is doing. Kalakatronis, 10 points. He is doing well. So he might start stealing some minutes from Wade Dyer. It's one game. But Darius Q, 12 points now. He's made his only shot here in the half. As a team, we're ahead in the assist battle. We're ahead in the offensive rebound battle and the overall rebound battle. We've had more blocks, but we are getting pummeled in the steals department, which has made the turnovers pretty much level. Both teams still 44 shots apiece. Free throws. Both teams have had quite a few free throws here in the second half. A lot more fouls being committed, but we continue to shoot well from the stripe. Threes, 9 for 21. They are 8 for 20. Both teams are just lighting it up from beyond the arc. 8-point lead here with 5 to play. Let's slow it down just a little bit for now and see this thing out. Can we come away with the win? 69-65. They have made the last couple scores and they have the momentum. This is probably a good time to use a timeout. Let's do that now. Try to, that took some momentum away from there. Oh, that did not result in a score. I thought it was from the out of bounds play. Not sure how we turned the ball over on that one. But we did limit their momentum. If we can get a stop here. No, we get the foul. Damn. And then they make both free throws. Bad timing on that one. But a huge three-pointer. Huge. I don't know who scored that. I'm still going a little too fast on my play-by-play here to fully know what's going on. But Q just got the rebound. He's got 17 and 8 right now. He is nearing a double-double. Again, some of my audience here is new to the sport of basketball or not terribly familiar with it. A double-double is where you have double digits in more than one stat category. Q, just one rebound away from a double-double. The famous one is a triple-double, where you have 3 stats with double attributes or more. And in the college game, that doesn't happen a lot. In the NBA, it does. Pretty frequent in the NBA. They do play a bit longer. We are down to a 5-point lead here with 1:10. This is actually probably a good time to talk about it, except we lost the ball there. And I didn't see a shot go up. They just converted their shot. It's a 2-point game. Full court press, full timeout, 40 seconds. We want to stall the offense. 30 seconds, 2-point lead. Foul, free throw line. Brent Gross makes his free throws. It's 74-70. They go to the... come on. Anybody who plays the sport knows that when you have a lead and you have 20 seconds to go, you don't foul. 75-72, but we got the rebound, the offensive rebound on the missed free throw. And that put it away. We got a 3-pointer to seal the game, and we do come away with the victory today. It's 78-72. Tight contest, and Q did get his double-double. 17 and 10 on that one. 6 for 9 shooting. What a start from the freshman. Coming in huge in his first game. Samuel's only 2 points today, but he made his only shot attempt. That is huge for us because Gross was 1 for 5. He didn't have a great day. Dyer did okay with 8 points and 6 assists, but we know that he had a lot of turnovers. 27 for the team, and I would imagine the majority of those are going to go to him. Robinson ended up with 5. Dyer ended up with 6. Gross ended up with 4. I think that is the quality of the opponent and their defense just being better than ours. But that was a fantastic way to start the season. We opened with a win on the road at a much higher level opponent, yeah, you'll take that. You'll take that. Biggest win of the team's history had been at University of Oregon, my alma mater. This, probably as big. And we look poised. Look what happened to the shots in the end. 48 for us, 56. It was even. It was 44 apiece last time we had checked. We only ended up with 4 shot attempts the rest of the way. Part of that, though, is going to come down to strategy late in the game where they are fouling and putting us on the line, and we were clutch 84% from free throw. That's massive. That is massive. And that is what got us coming away with this game. Points in the paint, slight deficit, but second chance points were huge. Those offensive rebounds. Who had them? 2 from Samuels, 3 from Archie. Nice. Really well done for the small forward there. And 1 for Kalakatronis. But that led to 11 second chance points. And with only 6 offensive rebounds to have 11 second chance points, that's pretty mega. Samuels, you figure he probably had 2 of those. He was only 1 for 1 shooting, so he probably had 1. The other one, he's probably a kick out. Somebody making a 3, most likely. Archie, same sort of thing. How many assists did he have? Only 1. Samuels did have a couple of assists, but you would imagine under the circumstances, Kalakatronis, his offensive rebound, might have led to one of his assists. Not good on the fast break part, though. We need to defend that much better. Hayes, player of the game right there, but -7 on the court. So even though he scored a lot, is he not a very good defender? Is that his issue? 4 turnovers for him, 3 steals. That's a good... Wow, look at all those steals. 21 steals. 21 steals, 27 turnovers. 21 of those are steals. Let's hope we can protect the ball a little bit better. This is a scouting report for one of our upcoming games. Now, the opponent is Davidson. So Davidson is in Conference D, as in, like right around where TCU was in terms of their conference. And we are on the road. And according to our scouting report, we are the favorites. According to the scouting report, Damon Robinson, Darius Q, and Wesley Samuels are all better than the 3 starters at the same positions for Davidson. We are weaker in the guards, but not like get blown out kind of weaker. And generally, they look at us and say, yeah, we're pretty good. So speaking of we're pretty good, I've played 4 games now into the season, and this is how we're looking through 4 games. We're 4-0. We are the only team in Conference V to start the season off 4-0. Does not matter, like I said, because Conference V games are the ones that matter. And we have had a couple home games in those 4, and we don't have as many later on. Mississippi Valley State, somehow their net ranking right now is 3rd. I don't know who they beat to be amazing in their net ranking at the moment, but they're looking pretty dang good. It's only 3 games, just like we've only played 4 games, but we are in the top 50 right now. We're not going to stay there. It is going to drop down. We are going to lose some games, but yes, we were not blind here. We were not guessing that we were good when we weren't. We're good. We've got a good team this year. We are definitely going to win some games, and I have every confidence that we will not face relegation back down to the gutter, back down to the ground level of the ladder. We will, at the very least, stay on the bottom rung, and I have a good feeling that we will at least be in competition. Not necessarily that we will be there, but we will be in competition for one of those top 4 spots here in Conference V this season. A lot of that could depend on how well those guards do. I will keep a close eye over the next handful of games on Wade Dyer and Kalakatronis, as that seems the most likely candidate for adjusting the lineup, either by giving another 2 to 4 minutes to Kalakatronis or possibly even turning him into the starter over Wade Dyer. But at least for our 3 forward positions, it looks like we are well set for those guys being pretty dominant. I'm going to take more than 4 games, though, to get a larger sample size to see how those guys perform, to see if I need to make any adjustments. January is obviously going to be very telling in whether we even get to keep our guy or not, because low GPA will mean a low SAT, meaning he may not even qualify to come here. But so far in Conference V, there's 3 schools that have no recruits whatsoever. There are numerous schools that have just a single recruit, and we come in ahead of all of those with a 4.1 rating for the one commit that we do have, who is solid. And this is the thing. You've got to get good players. Now, those first few seasons was get whatever you can get. But now that we've gotten to Darius Q, now that we know the transfer portal is a great resource that we are making the best of and getting some quality recruits on, and foregoing the weak recruits, foregoing the 1-star guys, this is what's pulling us ahead of everybody else. North Alabama, Delaware State, Maryland, Eastern Shore, Nebraska, Omaha, they all might have multiple recruits. They have multiple weak, garbage, low-level recruits. And if I can't get a Darius Q, I'm going to get good players through the portal, like a Robinson. So knowing that, having that fallback, having that ability means I'm constantly focused now on getting 3 to 4-star talents, even if we're only going to get maybe 1 a season. You get that one, you get the others out of the transfer portal. It's all good. It's all good. So that's the direction, and we're seeing it pay off. Non-conference wise, we have 2 dominant forces in the league, Mississippi Valley State and ourselves. If you can maintain that within the conference, sure, fantastic, that's great. We don't know that that's going to be the case, but that net ranking, at least at the moment, is very good. 2-1 at home, 4-1 on the road. The loss at home was to our rival Portland State, who are definitely above us, and it was a 2-point loss. It was really close. Q had another big day on that one. I saw he had 20 plus points, and he's done really well. 8 games played is now enough of a sample size. So let's start breaking down how the team has performed so far this season and get an idea on if we need to start making some sort of adjustments within the lineup in any way, shape, or form. Okay, Kalakatronis is shooting ridiculously well. 52% from the field as a point guard is really high. So there's one thing that's standing out as maybe we need to see more of from him. Samuel's amazingly shooting really well so far this season, and that's not his strong suit, but it could be a thing. When you have strong players around you, you're going to get better looks. You're going to get more open shots because the stronger players are going to be defended more tightly or double teamed. And if they then give you the ball, you could be wide open. And as somebody playing down low and having a Darius Q beside you, who is getting a much higher volume of shooting compared to you, and you're picking your shots, and again, Q feeds the ball to you, or you're getting that offensive rebound and you're putting it right back, right? You're going to get better looks. You're going to get a better percentage. He's making 50%, and that's fantastic. It's a lot better than he was doing a year ago. Same with McIntyre. You can see McIntyre's shooting 50%. Both of them getting about 6 shots a game. That's good. That's good. These guys are doing well. They're not getting 10 points per game, but they're picking their shots, and I think it is benefiting us. And Q, who's taken the higher volume, is making a good percentage of those. And unlike those guys, he's shooting from range a lot more often. He's playing a bit of a stretch 4 for us and still making his shots. 47% from 3 at 2.5 attempts per game. That's insane what he is doing, how well he is doing. Geyer, okay, but I mean, he's getting 6 attempts per game, and unlike these guys who are shooting inside, majority of his shots, more than half, are coming from range, and he's doing 41% from 3. Excellent job. Colin Peterson, 5 shots a game. Oh, he's only played one game. Okay. Garbage time. Archie. So it means we've really only had one game that's kind of turned into a blowout, the last 4 minutes of one game. Archie, not doing great, so it looks like we were accurate that he was not the greatest transfer, but he's still working out for us. 15 minutes a game, 6.5 shots a game, and more than half of those, or roughly half of those, coming from range, and he's identical at 3-point range as he is from inside 3. He's not committing many fouls. This turnover margin isn't terrible, 1.5 in 15 minutes. Brent Gross, not shooting well. Robinson, not shooting terribly well and taking quite a few shots. But also, some of that, a good chunk of that, is coming from 3-point range. So, again, that brings your numbers down. He's actually shooting slightly better from 3 than he is inside. And then Wade Dyer. Okay, so Dyer is struggling. 30%, while Kalakatronis is 52%. He is really bad from 3. That's where he's really getting a lot of his misses. In fact, the majority of his shots. And definitely not his makes. He is making his free throws, though, but Kalakatronis, in fewer minutes, is getting to the line just as much. Rebounding. He's doing slightly better than Kalakatronis, but that's not what he's there for, and that's not a major factor. He is getting more assists than Kalakatronis, so he is running the offense a little bit better, but he's turning the ball over a ton and committing a lot more fouls and scoring less points. Yes, I am going to shift minutes from Dyer to Kalakatronis a bit, but I'm not swapping him out of the starter role because of the assist part. Dyer is distributing the ball to other players a little bit better than Kalakatronis is. And even though Kalakatronis seems to be doing everything else a little bit better, how are they doing in the steals department? Oof. Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to shift about 4 minutes off of Dyer to Kalakatronis. Seems like we are doing that already, inevitably, the AI, because I think Dyer has more than 21 minutes a game, and Kalakatronis is not supposed to be getting 16. Okay. Kalakatronis is supposed to be getting 16, which he is getting, but Dyer is losing about 3 minutes a game somewhere, and not necessarily to Kalakatronis. Kenyon Geyer might be getting some of those. Is he getting more than 16? Oh, very well could be. It's Geyer who's been playing the backup point guard. No wonder Kalakatronis is playing backup shooting guard. No wonder he's getting fewer assists. That's right. He's playing that shooting role, and he's playing it well. He's doing well in that role. And Gross has not been doing terribly well either. So actually, it looks like we need to take some minutes from there as well. Let me go back and check how Geyer is doing. Because I remember that Gross was not shooting well, but where is Geyer above him? How is he comparing? Yeah, he's getting an extra minute a game. So that is standing out. Gross, he's also losing some time. So a couple minutes a game. His turnover ratio, much lower. His assists are definitely higher than Kalakatronis. Not as good Gross is doing better in assisting, but that's in more minutes, of course. But yes, I do think we want to shift things a little bit towards both of those guys. At least a couple minutes, if not 4. And we're about to get into the conference schedule. And this is how we look against one of the better teams in Conference V in Maryland Eastern Shore. They were up around 3rd or 4th in the non-conference schedule, or preseason, if you would, even though it's definitely not actual preseason, but if you would call it that. 3 matchups favor us. Samuels is actually even with one of their players, which means they're pretty good there, but we have no deficit in any way. Even our weaker Wade Dyer and Brent Gross are fairly even. And by the way, I've got those guys playing 50% on their minutes now, which means we've got some decent players coming off the bench who are essentially as good as those two. And it shows because we have the stronger bench as well in terms of performance and capability. So 7-3 is where we were. 8-3 is where we are right now. Q leading the way, but only 12 points per game. He's not completely dominating, and we are definitely the favorite against those guys. And you can see how the 8-3 squads, leading the way. Maryland Eastern Shore, 4-7. They're up there. They have a higher net, and that's one of the key areas where they're up there, right? The net, I think, matters way more at this stage. Of course, it really mattered more those last 2 years, but now, non-conference wise, it's so hard to get much from that. For us, we were 3-1 at home, 5-2 on the road. Mississippi Valley State was 5-0 at home, 3-3 on the road. So they played more home games than we did by 1 at this stage, and St. George 5-0 at home, 1-5 on the road. So for us to be 5-2 on the road, that says a lot more. Says a lot more than Longwood, who were 3-1 at home, but 3-8 overall. So that net ranking, I think, tells you a bit more about a team. And look at that. They've got us in the top 100 at this stage. Meaning we're doing pretty dang good. Not good enough to make the tournament in any way, but I think we do have essentially a 2-horse race. St. George, that's 6-5 overall, a couple 5-6s, a couple 4-7s. There's some quality teams that are capable of winning some games, especially those that are taking care of business at home. We're about to hit that point of the season where half of our games are on the road and half are at home. I think it looks like we could do pretty well at home against the entire conference, except maybe Mississippi Valley State. That's one team that could win on the road. Everybody else, we should be able to get 8 wins at home. But on the road, how many can we get? It looks like we're going to win some on the road. 3, 4 on the road, 5, plus about 8 at home. The rest of the way means, I think we're looking at a pretty good season. You never know. I don't know what the balance is of the schedule. I know we're getting Mississippi Valley State pretty early in this upcoming conference schedule. And when we start this next episode, it might be where we start. We might start with a head-to-head against Mississippi Valley State. It's a good place to go. Good place to start that next episode from. It is January 9th. Last week, we did not have an update yet on SAT scores. No, not quite. I think we're about a week away from those SAT scores, maybe 2, coming out. I know it is January, but Brownlee, here's to hoping, because he's a pretty decent recruit coming in if we can get him. And I don't think he's that far off from where Darius Q is in terms of capability. And as a shooting guard, that's definitely a position we need, as Brent Gross has not been that great for us. So that would be a solid addition. We'll find out next time, though. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.